They lock black people up like the same way, birds fly and fish swim. It's an everyday thing for them to lock black people up. They set black people up to get locked up every aspect of life, every day. I mean, by the millions, people. The U.S. Department of Justice gave Barack Hussein Obama $1.3 million for his campaign in 2008. And, it was also stated that Oprah was one of the funders, and it was interesting. They just labeled something as U.S. government. That could have been anybody. Yeah. That could have been the damn Green Beret. That could have been the CIA. I think it was the CIA because Obama's mother had ties to the CIA. Okay? This is all a hoax. It's all a sham. And like I said, the U.S. Department of Justice funding Obama's campaign is just like me getting a KKK member to say, hey, fund this black guy and have him run for president. Why in the hell would the U.S. Department of Justice, that's clearly racist, why would they want Obama as the leader of the goddamn free nation, people? Mm-hmm. You know why? To split everybody up and to confuse everybody. The United States is split up into 3 groups right now. Quote-unquote black, quote-unquote white, and quote-unquote Hispanic/Mexican. And Obama was put here to set the boundaries in place because, like I've said before, united we stand, divided we fall, people. And when we're divided on the checkerboard, just like in the scary movies, when the killer divides everybody up, that's when he picks everybody off one by one. Yeah. And that's what's going to be the result. Not only was he elected once, but he got into office twice. Here's how the Jews want racist white America to view America after Obama's terms. Okay, black people, you've had this guy in office for not 1, but 2 terms, and you didn't ask him of anything but to be black.
That's all. That's it.
So by doing that, by agreeing with that bullshit, when he leaves office, you think you've seen police shootings against innocent black people now? You think you've seen that in the past 3 years? You think you've seen depopulation agenda? Okay, Agenda 21, the Hegelian dialectic.
But you know what?
Just wait till he gets out of office.
You know what, man? You going in on this, but the thing what get me about it all is that our people elect a person, but we won't look into what they saying. We won't look into what they standing for, what they pushing.
Exactly.
And then when we do listen to what they saying, half of that's BS. But when they do get in there, we forget about it. We got them in there. We celebrate, pop champagne, and the people said they was gonna do one thing, end up doing a totally opposite, and we still praise them and give them credit just because they made it.
Yep.
Just because they made it into office. You know what I mean? It's deep because the reason I'm saying that is because when Obama first got into presidential seat, one of the first things he did was pass the AFRICOM policy.
Oh, of course.
Nobody even looked at that. We just kept saying Obama. We don't look at what they actually doing when they get into office, man.
Exactly.
And crazy, bro.
It's really sad because that moment, November 4th, 2008, and when you look at that numerology, 9 and 4 is the 13, just like the Paris shooting was 9/13.
That numerology.
Okay, when he got into the office the first time, the whole country and the world was under a state of mass hysteria. That's the only word I can describe that as mass hysteria, like he's the second coming of Christ. Yeah. But if you really think about it and delve into it, he's the Antichrist, because the real Christ beings were our original ancestors who had Christ consciousness and pure DNA.
And let me say something. Let me cut this in, y'all. My brother said Christ consciousness. Now, I got a movie coming out. I ain't going to say soon. I'm working hard on it. It's about symbolism. It's going to blow you away. If you haven't already saw the NFL logo symbolism, you need to see that. I had to plug this into what the brother's saying because what my brother said was Christ consciousness.
Yeah.
And part of getting Christ consciousness is what we was just discussing earlier.
Yep.
When I told the brother you gotta think outside the box. See what happens when you take a cube or a box and unfold it, you get a cross.
Yeah.
So you got to get outside of the box to access your Christ energy.
Exactly.
And when that happens, you're going to be crucified. So when you unfold that box and stop thinking outside the box, what you get is a cross.
Exactly.
So I'm going to go deep into that on the movie. Stay tuned for that one. But it ties into what the brother's saying, because what they doing is using all this symbolism against us. The brother pointed out numerology to y'all, and that's something we need to get acquainted with. Listen to the dates, what the brother's saying. All of this stuff is source forms of sorcery.
Oh,
people.
yeah.
And this is the higher degrees that they fighting us on that we ain't really crossed into yet. So we got to get up on that, man.
Obama, I believe, is actually a result of artificial insemination through his mother, through his Zionist Jewish mother that has reptilian DNA.
Yeah.
And he was birthed out in Egypt where the stars were aligned perfectly, okay? And he was trained, prepped, and primed to be the man that he is today. And I believe he even has an MK Ultra chip in the back of his mind, just so he doesn't even have the urge to rebel. And if you think it's bullshit, I already decoded and went over the Manchurian Candidate. Yep, the movie.
Manchurian Candidate.
If you haven't seen it, go see it, people.
Go check it out. That really show you who Barack Obama really is. He's a creation.
Yeah.
CIA created him.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The guy's a creation. This is a stage, people. It's a stage, all right?
Yep.
And everybody on that stage are puppets.
If you do your research, Bin Laden, Osama Bin Laden, is actually related to Obama, okay? And I believe it's through his mother, because his mother had ties to the CIA, and so did Osama Bin Laden. You look at the words Osama and Obama, you look at his middle name Hussein, you have Saddam Hussein in the Middle East, okay? You have George Bush, who had ties to Saddam Hussein and Bin Laden's family because they were all oil buddies. The Saudi Arabians had oil.
Yeah.
The Bushes in Texas had oil, people.
It's all about this oil, man.
Yep,
that's what connected the Bin Laden Bush family, man. It's all about the oil, brothers in commerce.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of people that say Bin Laden might be hiding. So
I'm under the belief that the real Bin Laden was dead in 2002 of cancer. And then it's funny because April 27th, 2011, they said that Obama's birth certificate was fake, and they proved it was fake, okay? But the mainstream media was playing it down, so what happened 4 days after that, May 1st, 2011? We killed Osama Bin Laden. He's a patriot. He really supports this country. He took out Osama Bin Laden. And like I said, the Zero Dark 30 movie was all a farce. Those Navy SEAL members died because they were going to expose the farce and say that they were never called out to take Bin Laden out. Yeah. That's really deep when you delve into that.
Listen, we could go even deeper on this guy, Bin Laden, if we want to.
Oh, yeah.
Barry Soetoro. Come on now. Come on, man. The dude, like I said, the only president that ain't got no records on file, man. That's amazing.
Obama, Biden, Osama Bin Laden, Saddam Hussein, all three of those names are intertwined and interconnected with each other.
Yeah.
Because they're all serving the same agenda. The same New World Order agenda, okay?
Wow.
They knew we're dealing with witches and sorcerers who took our ancient ancestors' knowledge and just, basically used it against us.
And I'm telling y'all, stay tuned, because everything we saying about how they using this sorcery, symbolism, and all of this stuff against us, we got so much stuff coming that's going to blow your mind.
Absolutely.
With this symbolism. And how you put those names together and show them.
Yeah.
It's all the same agenda. It's a reality right now for us, man.
One thing I want you guys to do. I'm disclosing some real top secret information right now. back in 2012 when I was first gaining spiritual enlightenment. I went on astrotheme.com and I was looking at celebrities' natal charts, how the stars were aligned at the moment of their birth. I came across a celebrity and it said Antichrist. And I'm like, what the hell? And it didn't have a picture by the name. I click on it and it shows a whole bunch of planets in the 13th house. It shows Neptune in the 9th house, and it shows Pluto and Uranus in the 7th house. So it's a giant trine. The planets form a giant trine, a triangle formation over the Earth flat plane. And he had this individual had so much planets in the 13th house that he's basically psychic. He can read your mind. He can travel, interdimensionally and speak to other creatures on different planes while he's talking to you and reading your mind and knowing your true intentions. Because he is actually the human manifestation of Satan, Saturn, Set. And I believe that is Obama's natal chart. And if you look at that natal chart, it says February 5th, 1962, 7:07 a.m. in a small town in Egypt. And that is Barack Obama.
Now, this is what I want you to do for him, my brother. When you say he's the Antichrist, go ahead and specify whether you mean by Antichrist, who is the real Christ, and why this is not in an association with Christianity's Antichrist. So break that down for him.
Christianity's Christ is delving into the Jesus, aka Serapis image. The Christian theology of the word Christ is a follower of this guy named Jesus Christ, who was made up by the Roman Vatican Church, and who was originally named Serapis Soter. We're not talking about that Christ. The original terminology for the word Christ is one whose body, mind, and spirit is pure and whole, and back to nature, and who has gained something we like to call Christ consciousness. That has nothing to do with Jesus, aka Serapis. So when you talk about an anti-Christ, that would be any body or any organization
that's against
our soul's ascension.
There you go. And we know that's Barack Obama.
Yep.
Everything and every company that support the man is against the upward evolution of humanity.
Yep. He's the reincarnation of Nimrod, and he was put back here to turn on his father's lineage, which are the Moors, who are the descendants of the Christ beings, the Africans in America right now, as we speak.
Yeah.
And what has he done to support Africans in America?
They can't force Barack Obama to say that he's African American. They can't get him to identify himself with the black culture in no way.
No, he supports the homosexuals.
Yeah.
I'm not bashing them, but he's going out of his way to support them. He's going out of his way to support transgender.
And I'm going to tell you something deep about the guy. I believe if you put a 12-gauge shotgun to his head and said, Barack Obama, what are you? Are you black or you white? I'm not going to be able to discuss that right now. Because he ain't going to admit it.
And he was trained, prepped, and primed to be that way. And he had a microchip implanted in the back of his head. You'll see the scar in the back of his head to prove that. Okay? It's not a game. It's not a joke, man. Barack Obama is under MK Ultra mind control as we speak. And he's quote-unquote gets assassinated by ISIS members. We'll see. That's what they're planning in Washington, D.C., people. Why would you take in Syrian rebels when Syrians are, quote-unquote, the reason that ISIS is doing what they're doing? So you're going to take in people who could be part of ISIS in your own country? And wake the hell up, people.
We just showed them in the previous videos how our government funding Syria.
Watch out, Super Bowl 50. If you know anybody attending that, you better tell them to sell their tickets to somebody else. Because that might go up in fireworks. Stay away from the Olympics in 2016, okay? And start saving up natural resources, okay?
Real talk, people. Hey, this just was a video we want to bring to y'all, man.
Yep.
Just to talk a little bit about Obama. I know a lot of our people love Obama, man.
Yep.
But he ain't who he say he is. In fact, we don't know who the hell he is. Okay? Let the Harry Lennox tell it. He said he taught the man everything. I know one thing. If you believe anything he telling you, you got to be a fool.